Today, Luther Watkins took the stand in his own defense during his capital murder trial for the death of a Tuscaloosa police officer. We have our WVTM 13's Jarvis Robertson, who has been in court all day in Tuscaloosa. He's joining us live with an update. Jarvis, what can you tell us at this hour?
Well, Brittany and Carla, Luther Watkins took the stand around 4 o'clock this afternoon, but before that happened, there was a short recess. And while while the jury was out, the judge did let everyone know that Watkins decided to waive his right to silence and take the stand because he wanted to, quote, tell his side of the story. Now, during that process, the defense, they did ask Watkins to walk the courtroom through his day from beginning to end. So he says that he woke up around 6 a.m. What was interesting about his testimony, he was actually sleeping in a tent in the backyard of a friend because he had warrants out for his arrest. He says that throughout the day, that family, they did gather, those friends and family gathered at that house first just to have a barbecue and a cookout. He says they were outside playing cards. Later on in the day, that is when the incident started to unfold. Now, we do know that from court records and testimony that Officer Darnell Cousette, he went to that home where Watkins was to do a solo arrest with a bail bondsman. From the moment that officer arrived until the incident happened, everything moved pretty fast. During the testimony, we learned that probably within 8 to 10 seconds, that's when the shooting started. Now, according to Watkins, what he said on this stand is that when Officer Cousette got out of the car, he already had his gun in his hand. And from that point, that is when Watkins decided to run into the house. He says that in the process of getting into the house, he tripped, and that is when he felt that gunshot hitting him in the back. Now, Watkins said also during his testimony that once he was shot in the back, he did fall over, and he saw Officer Cousette standing over him with the gun in his face. And at that point, he also fired back at Cousette. One interesting thing he said during his testimony was that he felt in fear for his life. He was afraid that Officer Cousette was going to kill him. Now, that was just part of Watkins' testimony. We also heard from a firearms defense and also a retired police chief who has 25 years of experience. That person focused a lot on policy and procedures. The defense did call him as an expert witness. He talked about things like when to know or knowing when to use deadly force in a situation. So this is a very interesting trial. We did get out of court around 4:30 this afternoon. The judge has ordered everyone back at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Reporting live in downtown Tuscaloosa, I'm Jarvis Robertson, WVTM 13.